Welcome to Cooking with Gerald. On today's episode, I'll be making red velvet cream cheese brownie. If this is your first time visiting my channel, welcome. And for those of you that are returning, I'd like to thank you for coming back and also for supporting. Before we get started, if you would for me, please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. If you like the content that you're watching, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Let's take it a step further. If you want to be notified each time I do upload a new video, go ahead and click that notification bell in the top right hand corner of the screen. Now on to the video. All right, welcome back everybody. Today I'm going to be making red velvet cream cheese brownies. Starting off by making a half a recipe for red velvet cake, which consists of 3/4 cup of sugar, 3/4 cup of either vegetable or canola oil, half a teaspoon of baking soda, half a teaspoon of cocoa, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of vinegar, 1 tablespoon of red food coloring, 1 egg, a half a cup of buttermilk, a half teaspoon of vanilla, and then probably like about a cup of cream cheese cheesecake. Well, actually I shouldn't say cream cheese, but about a cup of cheesecake batter. You can get that from one of the cheesecake recipes that I made. For my buttermilk, I always use this brand, which you can only find it at Walmart or at Publix here in Atlanta, which is Marburger. It's gourmet buttermilk. It's full fat and it's actually pretty good. I like it because it has more of a butter type flavor, more of a buttery flavor to it than the regular whole fat buttermilk. So I'm actually going to be making this all in a bowl with a whisk instead of doing it with a blender. So the first thing that I want to do is to go ahead and mix my oil in with the sugar, and then also the buttermilk. Go ahead and add that in along with the egg. Alright, so what we're going to do now is go ahead and mix this until it's well mixed. And then we're going to go ahead and add the red food coloring. Takes a couple seconds. Alright, so we got all that mixed. So I'm going to go ahead and add the red food coloring. This is a really easy recipe. All my oil-based cakes, I usually will mix them by hand instead of mixing them with a mixer. Simply because they're more so, to me, a one bowl type cake to make for that beautiful red color. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and, I forgot to put the vanilla flavor in too, which we'll add that in a few minutes. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add the dry ingredients or sift them together, which the only thing I'm going to sift together is the salt, flour, and the cocoa. and then add it to the mixture. I'm going to keep the baking soda and the vinegar for last because I'm going to mix those two together. So let me go ahead and sift these. With the flour, it's actually 1 1/4 cup of flour that I'm adding for half of a batch. Alright, so have that sifted. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and add the vanilla flavoring, which is about 1/2 teaspoon. And then go ahead and add the flour and cocoa. And whisk that together until it's combined, being careful not to overmix it. And you definitely want to make sure that you sift that cocoa, because if you don't, the cocoa tends to be clumpy. And if you don't sift the cocoa, what'll happen is you'll have little dark specks inside the batter, which is not too appealing. Alright, so I have this all mixed. So the next thing I'm going to do is mix the vinegar and the baking soda. And this is actually real cool because it's going to be a little chemical reaction once I actually do go ahead and add it. So watch. See how you can hear it and see it bubbling? So you want to go ahead and stir that up. Make sure it's all mixed in. And then go ahead and mix it into the batter right away. Okay, and stir that in. And that's it. Now we're good to go. So what we're going to do now is pour this batter into a flour and greased brownie pan. I like to use the throwaway pans, the aluminum throwaway pans for my brownies. So what I'm going to do is go ahead add the batter in there. Make sure it's distributed evenly. And then what I'll do is I'll take the cheesecake batter and drop little dollops or big dollops all throughout the cheesecake. or all throughout the brownies rather, I'm sorry. Just like that. I'm gonna try to go through here and kind of push them down a little bit so that they're the same level as the cake batter. And it's best to do this while when you know you're gonna do this, take your batter out, the cup of the batter, and leave it out for like about 15 minutes before you get ready to make this brownie, so that it's kind of like at room temperature, so that it's not hard for you to swirl it in the cheesecake, because if it's too cold, it's going to stay real firm and it's going to be hard to kind of evenly distribute. So what you want to do now is just take a knife and just go through and swirl. It's that simple. The oven is preheated on 350. Gonna drop it in the oven for about 30-35 minutes, and that's all. Alright guys, so the brownies came out of the oven. The cheesecake brownie, red velvet cheesecake brownies came out of the oven. Let them cool down, and then put them in the refrigerator overnight, and this is what the end result is. Just simply beautiful. So I've now cut them into a dozen. Let's take a look at how beautiful these are. And that's it. Thanks for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell at the top right hand corner of the screen to be notified each time I upload a new video. And don't forget to leave a comment below. And if you don't mind, please go ahead and share the video. Until next time, stay safe.